Hi, my name is Cassidy Lindquist, and this is my Creative Critical Reflection, or CCR. For the final project, my AICE Media Studies class created movie openings, which were about 2 minutes long. Mine was called Summer of '69. My film is based off of the 60s to 70s decades. This movie begins with a girl getting out of bed. It's the first day of summer. She begins to get ready and leaves for her summer fun. The girl meets a guy and they fall in love like any cliche romance movie. Eventually, they have to be torn apart, and that is where the couple has to overcome their hardships throughout the entire movie. The inspiration behind the movie came from my favorite song by Bryan Adams, Summer of '69. This song is how my title came to be, and it also helped me choose my movie genre. I was able to create the plot of my movie mostly from my previous knowledge of romance films. I also gathered stories from many adults about their first or teenage loves. I did create a timeline I was supposed to follow while creating my movie opening. I never actually used it though, and I went very off course of the original dates I had put. I started my film very early, which led to my editing being early on in the process too. I'm glad I did it this way. It helped and gave me so much more time to work with the project to get it to my liking. The movie was a bit complicated while starting off. First, I had absolutely no idea what to create my movie opening about. The movie plot changed multiple times until I came up with the one I have now. I wanted to make sure I had something I liked, or else I wouldn't be passionate about it. And if I liked my project, then I could create my best work. One other complication I ran into was casting. Finding people who are willing to be in my movie and work with my schedule was a struggle. I found a few people, but they ended up bailing. This is why my entire movie is made from a point of view shot. It was a creative but effective way to work with my problem. Even though I had a few bumps in the process, filming and creating a movie opening was a great and fun process. I got to hang out with my mom, make some fun outfits, and just have a good time laughing and filming. It was also so much fun to be creative and think of different ways to do many things. I didn't like the stress of the project, of course. I definitely felt the need to do things multiple times, and it was a bit repetitive. Since there was only one person in my film, I was the only actress needed for it. I did need someone to film me, though. For this, I luckily could get my mom to record me. It was difficult at first because she had absolutely no idea how to control a camera. After a while, she got the hang of how to do everything, and it was smooth sailing from there. She also helped me create my costuming and set design. My stepdad helped us drive to all the locations and assisted with setting up. I incorporated technology in a few ways, actually. I used a phone camera to film, and I also used a phone and laptop while editing. There wasn't any technology in the actual movie opening because of the time era it was set in. I tried to make my film as interesting as possible. I researched things my audience would like and incorporated it into my movie. These things include fun music and unexpected things. I created a flowing plot that was easy to follow too. If my film was actually being created, it would be a small scale production. These are usually low budget and give lots of creative freedom to the director. These can be distributed at film festivals usually, or I could promote it with social media and fun ads to engage my target audience. My movie genre I had chosen was romance, specifically a coming-of-age romance film. These are my favorite types of movies and was something I knew wouldn't be too difficult to create. I did have to learn about the genre, though, before diving into the film first. This genre usually involves a strong-minded female who falls in love over the course of the movie. There is always a conflict that the love interest must overcome. Also, this genre can be told from any type of perspective, but has overwhelming amounts of emotion. In the end, there is usually a happy couple. There can be many subcategories of romance, and a few of the main ones are historical romance, erotic, or even romantic suspense. Some examples of these can be The Titanic, The Rapture, or 50 Shades of Grey. This genre has gone on for a long time and has dated back to the 1800s. The romance genre typically has a theatrical release. This is where they make the most of their income from. Merchandising and cross-promotion doesn't do great in this genre because of the slow-burning plot without a big action moment worthy of selling items about. Although, some films from this genre can make a fair profit from DVD sales. Personally, my movie was very close to an exact replica of a romance film. The plot was a slow-burning love story with a conflict that the couple had to begin to overcome. It also includes a strong-minded female who tells her story of romance. The ending of the movie would result in the couple ending up together. It did go against the conventions of the genre in the distribution and exhibition aspect. Normal romance films are large-scale production and theatrical releases, while mine would be a small-scale production with a non-theatrical release. Bridging off in my film, there isn't a ton of different camera angles, but the ones that are in it happen to add to the plot. Almost the entire opening scene is created from a point of view shot. This shows the girls who is narrating actions more clearly than a shot from her view would. It can also draw in attention from an audience and make them feel as if they are in the movie. There is many tracking shots as if the love interest was going around with the girl together. Most of the shots are filmed at a mid shot or a long shot angle because it allows the view of the entire scene to be seen. Since my movie was set in the 60s to 70s era, I had to create this by using mise-en-scene. My mother and I researched a few types of clothing that were popular in that time frame. These included go-go boots, turtlenecks, denim, and frayed pants. I created costumes to go with these. Then, I had to use music in the background of my film that was popular. Jazz was a popular genre of music, so I chose a song from that category. I also used a few props that were used in that era, such as the record player and older cars. The last part of my mise-en-scene usage was the setting. I picked mostly outside in rural areas so there wouldn't be technology around. Then I could get to filming. After filming all of my scenes, I began the editing process right away. I wasn't sure how long it would take, so I wanted to have enough time. I began by downloading the best editing apps I knew about to both my laptop and my phone. These were iMovie, VideoLeap, and VideoStar. I uploaded the clips into the apps and started to mess around with the arrangement and length of them. Once I got everything in place and I added the song I chose for the incidental music over the background, I also edited a voiceover and narration to make the scenes less confusing. In the end, I placed multiple filters and effects over parts of the film to help differentiate between the scenes. Editing the sound was a process within itself. First, I had to think of what kind of sound I wanted. Did I want actual dialogue, a narration, ambient sound, or anything else? I ended up being simple in sticking with the narration and incidental music that is synchronous with the record player. To do this, I was filming placing a needle on a random record, then I muted that clip. Over this, I put the music I wanted and aligned it with the dropping of the needle. The only other sound that was in this was ambient sound from the actions in each clip. The movie begins with the title sequence at a high angle shot with a girl lying in bed. For this, it was quite complicated. I had to tape my phone at a high angle from the ceiling. It kept falling, which was a problem, but eventually it stayed up long enough to get the shot. Another scene was the girl standing in the mirror with a match cut to her in a new outfit. For this, I had to tape my phone coming off of the wall and leave it rolling the entire time because if I touched it, then it fell. I then did a spin in the first outfit, got changed, and then did the spin in the next outfit too. The magic of this scene was when the editing took place. Next, the park scenes were filmed at Veterans Memorial Park, specifically the swinging scenes. The camera rocks back and forth to infer that the guy is recording and is also on a swing. The shots in the store are of the girl being silly and having a good time with her love interest. I filmed these at Walmart, and because of COVID, I made sure to wait until no one was in sight to take my mask off for a quick second to film. The scenes after this are at Big Fred's Route 66 diner. My mom knew the owners, so we could film in there quickly with no customers around, and they even gave us free food. The clips in the water were made at Green Key Beach. For these, we did many different shots of the couple having a good time together and making it seem like the guy was behind the camera. These were probably the hardest to film because it was freezing outside. The scenes at the boardwalk and watchtower are my favorite. The girl was wearing a dress and had a shake to signify the date night aesthetic. There was a lot of people watching and wondering what I was doing while filming. The ending clips are long shots of the girl being upset about her love interest leaving and staring at pictures hoping he comes back soon. Since I was the only actress in these scenes, I was the only one I needed to help with acting. I tried to make myself as comfortable as possible so I could flow and feel like I was in the movie. I also attempted to incorporate the camera and make it seem like a guy was actually behind it. A few things that developed during my project are my editing skills, acting skills, and my comfort around a camera. These are all important parts to creating the opening scene and for a movie in general. I would say my time management skills got better because of the many due dates too. Overall, it helped to widen my knowledge and skills. If I could do anything differently, I wish I'd put more actors. Although my situation ended creatively, I think it would have looked more put together and clear with multiple people. I did like some things I did though too. I love the mission scene I used, and I think it created a perfect 70s era. I also really liked the match cut I did at the beginning because it took up less time but was creative. Over the course of creating the project, there were a few obstacles. The first one was budget. Of course, everyone wants to create a highly produced video, but I didn't have fancy equipment or the money for that. So, I had to work with everything that I already had. Another obstacle was finding a way to reach the time limit. We had to create a 2-minute opening scene, but mine was 4 minutes. It was hard to cut it down and it took a while. This is where the spinning match cut came to be. Originally, I had an entire minute of the girl getting ready to leave for summer. I had to cut a few other scenes too, but I realized they weren't crucial to the movie. In general, the AICE Media Studies final project helped me learn valuable things and allowed me to broaden my knowledge.